Welcome you all in the lecture of IC engine fuels and lubricants. Today we will discuss the SI engine fuels. This is the contents for the today's lecture. Important qualities of SI engine fuels, rating of SI engine fuels. And previous lecture we have discussed many things, different types of fuels, solid, liquid, gas, and how they refined, how they formed, the techniques of refining, and to evaluate the quality of that fuel, which is the calorific value. We have discussed how that calorific value is evaluated for different types of solid fuels, different types of gaseous fuels. But this subject is dedicated to the engine, internal combustion engine. So, we will only focus the fuels which are utilized for the internal combustion engine. You all know that internal combustion engine can be classified in two types, like CI engine and SI engine. So, you all know that what is CI engine, compression ignition engine, and what is SI engine, spark ignition engine. In previous lectures, previous units, we have discussed what is SI engine, how it work, principle of operation and all these things, and similarly the CI engine. So, you all know that what is SI engine, spark ignition engine. Here the already air fuel mixture prepared from the carburetor, or you can say the carbureted mixture is compressed and it is ignited with the help of a spark plug in the conventional engine, and nowadays we are also using some MPFI techniques also. So, the SI engine mostly you all know that the which one is the SI engine, gasoline, or you can say the petrol is the major SI engine fuel which is used, and it on which principle it works. So, it works on the working cycle of that SI engine is Otto cycle. We have discussed the ideal Otto cycle, and we have discussed the actual and the real Otto cycle. So, we have all discussed. So, the we have also discussed that the prime importance is the combustion. So, how the combustion we have discussed in the last lecture. What is combustion? Complete oxidation of the fuel. So, the complete oxidation define the combustion efficiency. So, maximum the combustion efficiency means we are able to combust maximum amount of the fuel. So, it will the engine will give you the best mileage and the least emissions and the desired performance in the given range, operating range of the engine. So, it depends on the mainly it depends on the combustion of the fuel. So, we talk about the combustion. So, we should know how this combustion can be improved. This combustion can be improved with the help of either you improve the fuel or you improve the engine design, or you improve both engine design as well as the engine fuel. So, we should discuss, we should know what are the important qualities of the fuel. That fuel may be SI engine fuel or a CI engine fuel. In this lecture we will discuss only the SI engine fuel, spark ignition engine fuels, and then we will discuss about its rating, that you have n numbers of fuels in front of you and which one is better. So, it is called as the rating of that fuel. So, this is the important qualities of SI engine fuel. So, you all know that the composition of gasoline, what is gasoline? It is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. We have discussed in last lecture. It is having different hydrocarbons of different molecular weights, and it does not have the single hydrocarbon. So, the composition of gasoline varies with the source of crude oil from which it is extracted and the nature of the refining process, which type of refining techniques you adopt. We have discussed the different refining techniques for the SI engine fuels in the last lecture. So, which one the refining process you adopted, and the what is the source of that crude oil. So, this will decide the composition of the gasolines. So, what are the requirements of ideal gasoline? These are the these are few ideal requirements for a gasoline, because it is used as fuel in SI engine. So, it should mix readily with air and afford uniform manifold distribution, that is it should easily vaporize. Means you all know that what happen in SI engine, the air comes from one end and fuel comes from another end, and they are mixed in the carburetor. So, that mixing process should be the time allotted for that mixing is very less, it is in microseconds. So, or it is in it is in milliseconds. So that in that time that fuel should have the quality that it get vaporized and mixed with the air. And you all know that in the SI engine this pre-mixed air fuel mixture is supplied during the intake process through the intake manifold. So, it should mix readily with air and afford uniform manifold distribution. Means uniform distribution means it should have uniform or homogeneous type of mixture prepared, having the same equivalence ratio at the each corner. Next, it must be knock resistant. We have discussed the knock. What is knock? Knock is abnormal combustion. It is not desirable, because if there will be knock, then there will be the irregularities, non-smooth operation of the engine, irregular pressure pulses will be there. So, that fuel should be burned uniformly from one end, starting from one end, and that is called knock resistant fuel. The fuel should be knock resistant. Later we will discuss how this knock resistant is described. So, it should not pre-ignite easily, means that it should only ignite when the spark plug is on. It should not ignite before spark plug on, that is called pre-ignition. As because of the heating of that engine valves, there may be intake, during the intake manifold passing of that mixture can burn before the regular combustion. So, it is not desirable, it should not pre-ignite easily. So, this is the very important requirement of ideal gasoline. It should not tend to decrease the volumetric efficiency of the engine. You all know that what is volumetric efficiency? The power output is depend upon the volumetric efficiency. Volumetric efficiency is the breathing ability of the engine. So, it should not decrease the volumetric efficiency. It should be easy to handle. You all know that handling should be easy and safe. It must be cheap also and should be available everywhere. It must burn cleaned and produce no corrosion, means the emissions should be as low as possible. It must have high calorific value. We have discussed the high calorific value, it is described in megajoule per kilogram. So, it should be maximum as possible. So, it must have high calorific value, calorific value means energy content of the fuel. So, it should not form gum and vanish, because after burning the residue which remain after combustion should not have gum and varnish, because they may choke or clog the other components of the engine. So, all these requirements are connected in one way or other to the properties like volatility, knock resistant, sulfur content, gum content and contamination, which are discussed as these are the qualities. So, volatility is one of the major property of the SI engine fuel. Starting and warm up, starting or warm up, when you start your engine, that condition called starting condition, and after running few interval of period, that condition is known as warm up period. Then operating range performance. So, operating range performance means on which load either that engine is run on zero load, partial load or full load, or at medium speed, low speed or high speed. So, these also affects the other properties of the fuel. Then crankcase dilution, you all know that what is crankcase dilution, because it is not desirable. If there will be dilution, the lubricating oil film which is formed to reduce the friction will be diluted, and it may remove that layer, and it affects the performance of the engine, and also it damages the different components like piston rings, etc. Then vapor law characteristics is also a very important parameter. It should not, it is not desirable, vapor lock condition is not desirable. And anti-knock quality, that anti-knock quality means the fuel should be knock resistant. And there last is gum deposit, means gums after combustion there should not be, or storage after a long term storage of the fuel, there should not be gum type of deposit should be there. Now, first is volatility. What is volatility? Suppose you are you say that this is volatile fuel, this is non-volatile fuel. What is it means? So, it you all know that what is boiling and what is evaporation. Boiling takes place at a constant temperature and pressure, but evaporation takes place at each temperature and pressure. There is continuous evaporation if that surface of the liquid is exposed to the surrounding, because surrounding will have its own pressure at the particular location at then temperature. So, evaporation is a continuous process. So, volatility is you can relate to that evaporation. So, gasoline, we talk about the gasoline as petrol. So, gasoline we all know that it is a mixture of hydrocarbon, different hydrocarbon it is having, long chain hydrocarbon or smaller chain and cluster chain also hydrocarbons. So, it is having different types of different structure of hydrocarbons in the mixture. Then volatility depends on fractional composition of the fuel. So, you know that all the hydrocarbons, different hydrocarbon present in the gasoline is having their different boiling points. So, there will not be a single boiling point of the gasoline, because it is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. So, volatility depends on the fractional composition of the fuel. Practice of measuring the fuel volatility is the distillation of the fuel in a special device at atmospheric pressure and in the presence of its own vapor. The fraction that boils off at a definite temperature is measured. So, what we do, how it is measured volatility, we have a flask and that flask is exposed to the surrounding or is or heat. So, we take what we boil that mixture, and what happen if you start heating that mixture. So, boiling takes place because it is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. So, different hydrocarbons after reaching that boiling point it evaporated, and after evaporation it is condensed, and condensate is collected in a flask. So, the fraction that boils off at a definite temperature is measured. So, at a particular temperature that fraction will be different. If you increase that temperature, the fraction will be improved. So, it is, you can see through the graph, these are the y axis, it is temperature, and on x axis there is volume evaporated. So, volatility is, it is in winter volatility or summer volatility it is drawn with the help of that experiments. So, you can see that is 0 to 100 volume evaporated. So, initially at 0 means fuel is not starting evaporating, and after heating it. So, you can say that 20% volume evaporated at what temperature. Through this diagram you can see that at 20 degrees Celsius, the temperature, when the temperature reaches somewhere here, let that temperature is about 65 degrees Celsius. So, if you heat that mixture at 65 degrees Celsius, then 20% of the volume will be evaporated. Similarly, if we see that what about the 40%, 40% volume evaporated. So, it is somewhere here. More than 80 degrees Celsius, let it is 90 degrees Celsius. So, at 90 degrees Celsius if you heat that mixture, so what amount of volume evaporated? 40 degrees Celsius, 40%. And what about the 100%? 100%. So, 100% fuel will be evaporated at somewhere here, at this point, more than 200. So, you can see that point is its boiling point. So, the characteristics points are the temperature at which boiling of the fuel terminates, the fractional distillation curves of gasoline for winter and summer grade gasoline, The method for measuring volatility has been standardized by some American Society of Testing Materials ASTM method. It is a standard procedure for determining the volatility profile of the fuel. You can see from this diagram, you can see this diagram is representing different zone. This zone 0 to 20%, it is known as front end volatility. Front end volatility is that part in which 0 to 20% means this region means 20% fuel is evaporated at what temperature? At a temperature, that range is called front end volatility, and then this range 20 to 80% is called mid range volatility, and 80 to 100% is called tail end volatility. So, these are the properties which are affected by this front end volatility and mid and tail end volatility. So, you can divide your volatility graph into 3 parts: front end, mid and tail end. So, these are the some properties, means evaporation loss, prevention of vapor lock, ease of hot starting, ease of starting, and then this period engine warm up, acceleration in power, engine smoothness, short trip economy, prevention of hot stalling, prevention of carburation icing, long trip economy, heat content, prevention of dilution, crankcase deposits, gum, spark plug fouling. So, these are the some characteristics which are observed during this range of the volatility of the fuel. So, we will discuss these one by one. So, effect of volatility on engine performance. So, first is cold and hot starting. So, cold and hot starting, then vapor lock, then short and long term economy, acceleration and power, warm up, smoothness, hot stalling, carburetor icing, dilution, deposits and spark plug fouling. So, if these are the effect of volatility on the engine performance. So, if we will discuss first front end volatility. So, front end volatility, you can see that cold starting, hot starting and vapor lock are affected by this. So, what is cold starting? You know, your engine is off and from today it is not in useful form, it is in standby condition. Just you are starting that either in winter season or in summer season. So, that especially in winter season. So, cold starting, and if you start engine after a long journey and you immediately start that, it is hot starting, and vapor lock is similar to this also. Then cold starting is improved if it is higher, but it may lead to increased problem of hot starting and vapor lock. So, suppose we are because in the condition of cold starting we need a fuel air mixture of very rich type fuel air mixture, because you know that the what is inflammability range of the fuel, it is vary from 8:1 if air fuel ratio we take, that 8:1 to 20:1, that is inflammability range of the fuel. But neither the too lean mixture will burn or neither the too rich mixture will be burned. So, that mixture should be optimized, and it has been assumed that during the starting of the engine that air fuel mixture should be around 12:1. So, if it is cold starting, that the temperature is very less, then how the fuel droplets will be evaporated at that temperature? If so there will be more air and fuel is less, because of the evaporation process is less during the cold starting. So, if it is so, then the fuel air mixture during the cold starting will be very lean. So, because there will be less fuel because of the slow rate of the evaporation of the fuel during cold starting. So, lean mixture will not burn. So, what we do, we choke the engine, choke means choke the supply of air. So, if we choke the supply of air, the fuel before starting is mixed in the air in a richer manner. So, it gets started. So, cold starting is improved if it is higher. So, front end volatility should be higher. Front end volatility is desirable higher for cold starting to avoid the cold starting problem. But if it is front end if front end volatility is higher, then it may lead to increased problem of hot starting and vapor lock, which is also not desirable. So, ASTM 10% temperature has been accepted as a good indication of the relative starting ability of motor gasoline. So, 10%, so that cold starting 10% evaporation of the fuel is desirable during the cold starting problem. Then lower in this temperature, the lower the engine temperature at which the starting is easy. So, lower the temperature, the lower the engine temperature at which the starting is easy. So, that fuel in nutshell, I want to clear you that fuel should have that quality that it should easily evaporated at very low temperature. So, if it is able to evaporate fast at very low temperature, which is assumed 10% by ASTM, then the air fuel mixture prepared will be able to burn. So, if front end volatility of the fuel is made excessively low to give good cold starting, the amount of fuel evaporated and so going into the intake manifold under hot shutdown condition is high and the mixture formed is too rich to ignite, causing hot starting problem. So, this problem arises during the hot starting problem. This phenomena is called percolation. So, percolation is a problem because of the hot starting, and this can be avoided by proper placement and design of the fuel system. Vapor lock is a situation where too lean a mixture is supplied to the engine. So, what is vapor lock? If we supply too lean mixture, less fuel, then vapor problem will be there. So, high rate of vaporization of gasoline can upset the carburetor metering or even stop the fuel flow to engine by setting up a vapor lock in the fuel passages. Now, can we talk about the mid range volatility? So, in mid range volatility you see in the graph engine warm up is one of the problem. So, 50% evaporation temperature is used mostly as an indication of warm up performance of the fuel. So, for the warm up performance, better performance, ASTM suggested that there should be 50% evaporation temperature. Means during the warm up condition, that what temperature we have achieved, during that temperature 50% evaporation should be achieved. This range should be volatile enough to give satisfactory air fuel ratio under a variety of operating conditions necessary for the operation flexibility. Now, engine acceleration, smoothness and fuel economy. So, these are the some properties. So, these are the carburetor icing, all these things. So, the tail end volatility. So, in the tail end volatility, we know that the crankcase dilution, engine deposits, gum formation and spark plug fouling all would reduce by increasing the volatility of the tail end portion of the fuel. So, you all know that what is crankcase dilution. So, crankcase dilution, if the tail end portion has too high evaporation temperature, this part of the fuel will not be completely vaporized and will be carried as full droplets into the combustion chamber. This liquid fuel gets past the piston rings into the crankcase where it dilutes the oil and decrease the viscosity. It also washes away the lubricating oil from all the cylinder walls. So, crankcase dilution, engine deposits, gum formation and spark plug fouling all would reduce, increasing the volatility of the tail end portion of the fuel. You can see through the diagram we have discussed, you can see here these are the problems which arises due to the tail end volatility. Heat content is one of them, prevention of dilution, crankcase deposits, gum formation, spark plug fouling. So, we have discussed these all things, and in mid range volatility we have discussed. One of the main thing which is also the carburetor icing we should discuss is the problem of, because in the diagram you can see carburetor icing here, this is prevention of carburetor icing. So, carburetor icing is not desirable, and which portion is responsible for carburetor icing? This mid range. So, what is carburetor icing? So, you all know that what happened in carburetor, fuel evaporated in the carburetor mixed with the air, and you all know that if you have a spirit on your palm and start evaporation, you feel that it get called some coldness on your palm. Similarly, it is happened similarly in the carburetor. What happened in the carburetor? Because of the temperature drop, effect of vaporization, the temperature drop associated with the pressure drop in the venturi. If the temperature drops below freezing, water vapor will freeze onto the throttle or other internal surface of the carburetor. So, two types of gas we use, it is not desirable. So, two types of gasoline additives are used to overcome this problem. One is freezing point depressant such as dipropylene glycol to reduce the temperature at which ice forms. The other is a surfactant type which coats the carburetor surface to prevent the ice sticking to it. So, we use some additives to the gasoline to avoid this type of icing, because if the carburetor get iced, the function of that carburetor will not be up to the mark. So, this was all about for this lecture, and in this lecture what we have discussed, in this lecture we have discussed what is the SI engine fuel, what are the requirement of the SI engine fuel, and how the SI engine fuel quality you can say, because the quality is not a single word. Quality from the point of view of engine performance, it is desirable. So, it is depend mainly on the volatility of the fuel. So, thank you, thanks, we will meeting in the next lecture.